Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Today is my day 7 of my C++ thesis journey. In today's video, we will be again solving some array-based lead code problems. And after that, I will be visiting, and in this stream, we will be also visiting some old problems that we have solved before. So in today's stream, we will start with solving a new problem named majority element. So this is the new problem that we will solve today. After that, we will revisit old problem and we'll see, we'll, we'll go with the flow of that. If I will be unable to solve this problem and stuck between this, we will work through together. So what is this? What does this problem says? It says it's given an enums of size and return the majority element. What is majority element? Majority element is the element which frequency is which is more than n by 2 times, which appears more than n by 2 times. You assume that the major elements always exist in the array. Means in this case, if the array is like this, where see there are three elements. If we divide it by 2, if we divide 3 by 2, we will get 3 by 2. So we will get 1.5. But we will take 1 as 1 as the floor because there are integer values here, and n by 2 returns integer. N by 2 in programming, it calculates as the integer value in integer form. So it is not counting decimal. So majority element is the element which is more than the floor value that has come after dividing the total number of elements by 2. In this case, the total number of elements was 3, and when we divided it by 2, it gave the floor 1, and in the output it was 3 because 3 was the 3 was in majority in this array. 3 comes the majority times here. So first we will try to solve it by using brute force approach. So in brute force approach, we will take in brute force approach. Hmm, okay. First we will create a first we will Write a for each loop in which we will start, we will be traversing the whole array. Inside this bar, we will set the frequency to 0. In the first, we will initialize the frequency of the elements with 0. Okay. First, let me write the code. After that, I will explain it to you. After that, we will again write another for each loop. Inside this, we check name it or I think we should name it something else. Okay, integer element. It should be named integer element because it will check. It will check if integer val is equal to element. If this becomes true, if element is equal to val. If this becomes true, we will increase the frequency. After that, this was the first instructions. We will return. We will check if frequency is more than n by 2. What is n? We will slice n with nums dot size so that it will check for the whole element, for the whole array. It will check if the frequency is more than n by 2. What we will return here? We will return. Okay. We will return the element, I think. Okay, okay. Integer frequency. Okay, I forgot to write inside this loop. This will be inside this loop. We are using nested for each loop. Frequency plus. Okay. Compiler. For each loop. Yeah, we have to actually check it inside here. I am forgetting what have to be written here. We have to give the index of the value. If frequency is that, we have to do I don't have to return frequency, we have to return the index value of that. Return null. Where? Okay, okay. Return nulls where? Mm, what am I doing wrong here? If frequency is more than n by 2, return what we have to return here, we have to return the current value of it. Mm, it should be well. Because for loop is running for val. So it will return the current value of val. Value. When frequency is divided by frequency is more than n by 2. Is there any problem anywhere? Let's just do let's try to do it myself. Let me check it again. So this is this. Okay, this is correct. This is the system. Okay, I think I should have to write this outside this loop. And this was the parenthesis value basis of the function in the functions. This was the value basis of this. This was the curly braces of this, and this was the curly braces of this and this. Should work in compiler condition. Then what I'm doing right wrong even. I have to ask for it. Use of non-undeclared identifier frequency. Undeclared identifier frequency. Undeclared identifier frequency. Mm, okay, this was the first. This was the outer loop, and this was the closing of that. This was the inner loop. This was the closing of this condition. This was the closing of the inner loop. Hmm, okay, this was the function influence here. Think this is not needed. Program GCC optimize expected closing curly braces. Where closing curly braces. Okay, okay. Undeclared admission. How is it undeclared, man? I have declared it already. Frequencies and by two. Okay, okay. See. Oh, sorry. I have to copy it again. What's the syntax error here? Don't give me code fixes. I only want to know what are the syntax error happening here. Okay, let's see. Questionnaire domain syntax. Basic closing braces for the class after the function ends you wrote, but inside the functional braces are mismatched the for loop and if block are fine, but the outer function right now the compiler sees written well. The extra in this line I have to make changes in the syntax that you are saying. Just tell me that. The only line you need to adjust for the syntax mismatch is at the very end of the code. Okay. The problem is that the extra before is closing nothing. It makes the compiler complain about unmatched braces. It's talking about this. Okay. Line with extra remove fix it. Line with keep it as per. Now right now code is still has syntax error at the very end. Last trying to close the function, but the function this is already closed earlier. Because that compiler is an extra unmatched brace before that. So the syntax error is on the second to the last line. The loan, the loan, where man? Maybe this is not the. Okay, give me the fixed syntax error code with a highlighted comments. Okay, one, two, closes the function properly, closes the class function block, closes class definition. This was the first loop, this was for the second loop. Here the condition the loop was ended. That if condition will also be checked inside that. There will be three bases here. Okay. Okay. We have to close the outer loop here so that a condition also gets checked. I think I'm speaking slow, a little bit low. Let me move out the curly braces. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, but there are three only. Okay. Uh, syntax errors. Syntax errors. Line 1. Class solution. Public changes. Is that okay? Fine. Okay, okay. It's open. To that it is closed again. After that it is checking the condition. If this is that 1, 2, 3, not we check it. We have to run this condition after the nested loops. Now code has one extra closing basis inside the function. For loop in this block, you have to choose two closing before the close the function. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and 1, 3, 4 closing. Okay. That just was this. After that it was 2. I am able to write the code, but I am lacking at syntaxes. It should work now, man. Why it isn't working? Highlighted with the comment. And changes are done. Ship level. Okay. What's the class of solution? This closes the if condition. This closes the for loop. That closes the function. This was missing misplaced earlier. Remove rest of the depositing inside the function. When your version, you have two closing braces. One closes the inner for loop, one closes the outer for loop, one closes the function, one closes the class, one closes the inner loop, one closes the outer loop, one closes the function. And this, I have done this man already. 1, 2, 3, 4, so here 3 curly braces here. Suppose opening this, okay. When everything is same, why it is not working? See, first line, second line, third line, fourth line. Okay. This was the first, this was second. Again, first and second. After that, two curly braces again. After that, if condition, close the if condition. After that, close the outer for loop. After that, close the function. Close the outer loop. Close the function. Close the class definition. So now what's the problem, man? It's getting big. Let's copy it from here. Check. It's again same, man. Why it did work now? I don't. So these are the syntaxes. Syntax is same as earlier, man. Then why it was not working? Let's see. I think this time it will get tested. Let's copy the whole thing. 1 minute. TR and V. Judging. See, it's again showing compiler. See, your code is showing compile because the function is declared as returning an integer, but not going to pass the function signature. This means the function must always return an integer. If element specifies the condition, the current function is the end without returning items. Why the problem? The issue problem is the end of the function line 18. Line 18. Okay. After the closing brace of the for loop, the function ends without a generated guaranteed return. Syntax as bases are operate, no such compiler showing missing return log method, which is 70 requirement for normal functions. We do this. Let me see the corrected code in my mobile. What was that? We will delete all this first. Okay, this was the code. This was the code. This was the first loop. Inside this, we go from here to the last index. Inside this frequency was set initialized with 0. After that, we run another for loop. Inside this, we checked if element was equal to well, and frequency increase if it was equal to well. And after that, we checked if frequency is more than n by 2. If frequency is more than n by 2, we will return well. But after that, there were these three. Yeah, I think this was missing. Error. But it should work now, man. It should work now. Brother, I'm writing code for majority element on LeetCode. Now tell me why the problem is occurring. Semantic compile error means okay. Solution. If this is not, if this will not true, we will return -1. Because in the lectures I have seen the tutors using this. Okay, now it is. So it also requires the else case if it's not if if there's no majority element. In but in the question it says you may assume that the majority elements always exist. So that's why we are looking the code and we didn't wrote the else. What will be the what will happen if it was an else case? So now I will tell you how the code is working. Okay, so before that we will try to submit it, and the time complexity of this will be equal to big of n2 cube because there is one nested loop here. We can see it beats only 5.2% because we have used the brute force approach. So I'm not checking the time complexities of it now. Now let me first tell you how it's working. After that, we will try another better approach for this. And in the next stream, I will be doing this same problem with the uh, with the most optimized approach, that is Moore's algorithm, which time complexity will be equal to big of n. Let me check what was the time complexity of that. Yeah, its time complexity was big of n. Okay, so let me tell you how the code is working now. So we have used the for loop, outer for loop. What it does, it travels through the whole array from 0 to the last index. Set this, we have initialized the frequency 0. So the frequency will, in the starting will be 0 inside, and after that inside in this loop, what we are doing if element is equal to 1 means the first for loop is also here, and the for loop named element is also here. If element is equal to 1, it will increase the frequency. Okay, and after that it's checking if frequency is more than by 2 and by n divided by 2, it will return well if it is more than n divided by 2. And if it's not that, and if it's not n by 2, the integer value will now come here to the first index, that is 2, and inside this it will also be this will also be increased to the second index, and it will check it is if this is equal to 12. If it's not equal to 12, frequency will be equal to 0. Okay, so this condition will not, this will be also not checked because we have already, because this condition is already not satisfied. After that the for loop will be the 1 minute I have to tell you. If after that it will be increased to 2. Okay, it will again check that is 2 is equal to is 2 is equal to 3, but it will not be equal to 3, so it will not run. And 1 minute, how it's supposed to be told. um, this both the for loops will start from here. We check if element is equal to 1. Okay, so first this will increase, and after that this will increase. We'll again check if so frequency will be plus plus. And yeah, frequency, we are checking frequency for every time entering them. If it's not equal to 2, it will not increase the frequency. Okay, after that it will again check if frequency is equal to n divided by if 2. If it's not true, sorry, if it's not equal to 1, then it will, the pointer will move here, and nums will be equal to the second index, and that this the element loop is also being increased to the second index, that is 3. It will again check if element is equal to 12, and then the frequency will increase, and then it will be again checked if frequency is n by 2. So it will return val. And in case if there is no majority element, it will return -1. Now we will check the, now we will try to do it by an optimized, more optimized approach, better approach, which time complexity will be equal to big of n log n. So what we will do, we will use sorting in the better approach, and we will be using loops also. So let me erase it. Okay. So what we will do, we will first sort the array from in ascending order. Sort nums.begin, nums.end. So this will sort the array in increasing order, ascending order. Why we have done that? So it will check. So we will be able to check if nums of I is equal to nums of I minus 1. So what we'll do for that, we will write a for loop. Set this, we will start to. So let me. This is first. Here sorting is done. After that, we will check a frequency count. So for this, we will create a for loop. Inside this, we will initialize to it with 1 and I is less than nums dot size and I plus plus. Inside this, we will check if I is if nums if nums I value is equal to nums I minus nums I minus 1. Okay, and if it's true, what we will do, we will increase the frequency. How it's working? If nums of I, okay, nums of I is this, nums of I is equal to nums of I minus 1. This is the minus 1 value. If it's true, we will increase the frequency. And we will initialize the frequency to be 1 by default because we have already used this. And integer frequency equal to 1 and okay, we will also use a pointer which tells on which why we have used this. I will tell you. Okay, so this was a for loop. After that, we will write if see this is not true. In the else case, what we will do? We will reset the frequency equal to 1 and initial we will re override the value of override the index and value of answer, so that in case if I is not equal to I minus 1, frequency will be reset to 1, frequency will become 1 and the value, the index and value of it will be equal to the current value, that is 2 in this case. Okay, and we will be also checking if frequency, 1 minute, if frequency is more than n by 2. If this true, we will return what we will return here. We will return frequency. Okay, this is giving an error. Okay, now you can see what's begin. begin. Int frequencies this expected error expected semicolon at the end of declaration. Int frequency no. Okay, okay. If nums index num size equal to num psi minus 1. Okay, frequency plus okay. Okay, okay, okay. I mistakenly used brackets. What's happening? Okay, okay. I okay. I have not told what is in size. Nums dot size. Holy moly. Hmm. Okay, we'll remove this. We will check inside this loop and think. Why every time you give error? It's for frequency count. Okay, this is this. Because this loop. Okay, and close that loop. Okay, okay. After that, we haven't closed the function. Now we close the function. Again, I will have to check. Now, what's the problem in this? I think we have to again. Okay, we have to again. If this is true, it will return that. Else, it will return -1 because it is mentioned in the question, but the compiler doesn't know. Hmm. expected 3, output is 2. There are so many shitty things in LeetCode I am facing. Now what's the fucking problem is coming here, man? Compiler. What I have done wrong is, I think, what is the output? Output is 4, expected is 2, okay. No, it will be equal to 1. Let me check what is wrong here. First we sorted, okay. Okay. And if nums I is equal to nums I minus 1 because plus plus, because this was correct in there, this was also correct in here. After that, we use the if condition. If frequency is n by 2, we have to return, okay. We were supposed to return that value, not the frequency, because frequency is only the counting, not that. We have to return the index value. See, here was 3. That's why it was not working. See, it is now working. So if we add another test case, let's add another test case in this. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, and 3. Okay. 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2. Why it is not working? Invalid type of integration. 3, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. My status 4. So now I will tell you how the code is working. Before that, I will submit it and check its time complexity. Wrong answer. But why? But I have written -1. In that case, we run it. I think I will have to write it down. Here. Wow. Don't know. Let's ask Copilot for it. For its why LeetCode is not fitting my solution for majority element. It fails in the last test cases, like array with only one value. My code is failing because of logic syntax. There is not syntax error. Return value mismatch. Okay. If I return -1, the test case will fail. Okay, loop will run. Loop will not run because I go to I start from 1 and size is 1. Condition, if you can see, function -1 executes. Okay, so should be equal to 1. Wow, so many hidden test cases. Okay, LeetCode respects 1 because there is one element that is majority here. So -1 will not be will be regarded as wrong. We do the analysis of it. The time complexity of this will be equal to big of n log n because we have used sorting here. After that, we used single for loop. The time complexity is big of n log n. Suggested complexity is big of n, and we will be solving this with the most optimized approach in the next upcoming stream with the Moore's algorithm. The full name of it is Moore's voting algorithm to achieve linear time complexity. Okay, readability is good, structure is excellent, fixed in consistent spacing around operators and braces to improve visual clarity. Okay, beats 5.2% and memory beats 87.2 12% of people. Okay. So now what we will do. First, let me check from how much time I'm doing the stream. Okay, it's been 58 minutes. Not bad. Now, let me first in check. Okay, so there the problems completed. Now I will try to solve the previous solved problem. I will revisit it, and after that we will be doing the harder version of it. And we will start. I will be choosing this problem to solve again because I was stuck in this the last time. Let me take a glance of the code. Okay. And this was also not the most optimized code for that. Okay, now we will directly jump onto this friction. Hmm. Okay, this is the condition. Okay, I will try. I will try. And last time I was confused at this point. So in this stream, I will be trying to understand what this lines are, what this line is doing, and this is also a function that I that is remain to know. That is remain to know. Okay, if, boom. So what was that? There are two arrays given. First is this, and second is this. We have to return the intersection of these both arrays. Okay. Each element in the result must be unique and numerator the result in any order. Like in this case, 4959494. Okay. So we have to return the same values only one time. So what we will do here? First, let me see that code again. Okay, we directly use the loops. Mhm. So what we have done, we created a for loop. It goes from 0th index to the last index. We will copy it and we will change the variable names. Okay, what we are checking, if nums I is equal to nums dot j. If this is true, what done? Okay, this was the vector we have already created. I forget to remove it. I didn't see it. What you done? We were checking if find what was that? If find the result dot begin, comma result dot end if nums of I is present inside that. Nums I. First we will try to understand this. After that I will not write the code. Tell me what does the find function do? Find is the okay. C++ still standard library part. Okay, its work is to do linear search inside array vector and list. Auto it. Find the container or begin container name. Search start point. Okay, this is the start point of the search. So this is the start point of search. And the value is that this which element we have to find. So here the start is the result and is the result. In suggests we are checking if nums of I is present or not. And what and why it's checking after that if result is equal to nums. See, I think I know the answer, but let me check. Well, we are going to find that element and fields. Okay, we are checking if it's duplicate. We are using it for duplicate. If it's not present, we will push back that value in the result. If it's present, we will skip. We skip. Okay. First, check if num's index value is present or not. After that, if check is the result inside result if it's already present. If it's already present, is the result or not? See. Uh, okay. Find such a from the sense and iterator like a pointer to first seconds of value. If not found, returns container not entry. Special marker meaning not found. Okay. How to use? How to find if it is not equal to result or 10. Use snippet. Okay. This is invalid syntax because find returns and iterator not available. Can't directly compare that iterator with result is equal to side. Result is a both vector, not a single element comparing a vector with. Why check afterwards? Most likely trying to avoid duplicates. Yes, I am trying to avoid the duplicates. Okay, now it will tell me what's happening. This line result vector checks for num psi and result vector result. If it finds some certain vector, it will point at that element. If it not find, it will end at result is equal to 0. Duplicate check. If is equal to the resultant, psi not found, save to insert. Okay. If it's not found until the this is wrong. Find it is a iterator. Find evidence and iterator. Okay. Brother, I'm getting a bit confused. Let me copy it and us. I am doing this problem right now. Intersection of two arrays lead code. Just tell me that what is happening at that line of code. Let's focus on what on that line we wrote. Find this part okay. So inside the vector result for the value num size. It returns an iterative like pointer to the element if found or result and if not found. Okay. After that you wrote result. This is invalid because result is a whole vector, not a single element. Num size not just one integer. You can't directly compare a vector with an integer. Okay. So syntactically the compiler doesn't understand what you mean here. What you probably intended you wanted to avoid duplicates. The correct check is okay. The correct form for that is this. Don't know why it got accepted in the previous lectures. Sorry, previous stream on which we tried to solve it. And the code was also given by Copilot. Okay, let's check size equal to result.10. So maybe means find means element not found only then you push into the other. Okay. If it's not found here, it means we have to push the value of num side. Okay. So what we've done after that, we did push back the value of nums I after that. Value of nums I. After that, we use the break statement also, so that it stops checking for further J's. Errors. Errors. Break. Solution is this and this. Okay. Nothing have to use another. LeetCode behaves very weird. Many times. LeetCode is very nums. Okay, nums one here. This was for the first array. This was checking for a second array. If nums one index is equal to num's second index. Num's one num's one index. Is something missing in this code? I think in the case there are no, we have to return -1 test cases. Okay, let's see what the test cases are giving the result. Device. Let's see it first. Let's see what same. Okay. Break was just break was just after this inner loop. Yeah. Now this was the outer loop. This outer loop goes here. For the inner loop. We haven't used the inner loop. One, two, three, four. This was the outer loop. Open curly braces, opening braces here. Again opening braces here. This close the break. Line 17. A non-byte function does not return a value. Non-byte function will return the value. And return -1. Okay. We have to wait clear three closing brackets, four closing brackets, curly braces. Before break, we close the if condition. Okay, okay. But you're not supposed to use this. Mm. Yes, yes. Nums one, nums one. Push back. Compile error. Okay, I forgot to write return result. Case past test case one, the failed in test case two, 29. Think now break statement will be used after this. I think. Yeah, break is on the wrong line. Break should be here. Mhm. Okay, when we push the result, when we push back the num_i value, set the result, it will break and we will not check for further J's. Okay, further J's in this. Okay, now this case two is also accepted. So what the first for loop is doing? First for loop is traversing the nums one array, and the second loop is traversing the second nums array. If nums one array index I value is equal to nums two array index value, it check if in result dot from its result from the first value of result to the last value that if nums one index value is present or not. If it's not present, we will push back the value of nums index in that. After that, we will break so that you stop checking for further J's. So that will be the result. It will be submitted, it will be accepted easily. But there will be more optimized solution of this. Currently, we are not able to do using that because okay, we can use two pointers also and sorting. Should be tried with hash table pointers. Binary search splitting, but if, I think in that case we have used binary search, and I haven't learned about binary search or watched lectures of that. We will try to do it again after I think when I have been read one research or the topics also. Till now, we will keep the code like we will be doing this, following this approach only. I think this is the brute force approach for this problem. Now, what we have done till now, we have solved a new problem today with two approaches. The problem was majority element. The first approach was brute force approach. Inside this, that we used nested loops, and after that we used another better approach for that. The using pointers. Inside that we used only one for loop, and the time complexity of that came near to big of n log n. After that we jump on to the problem that we after that we revisited the problem that we solved I think 2 3 days ago, and we tried to solve it, understand what the and try to understand this part of code, especially what is happening here, and we solved it again. After that, now we will try to solve the harder level of this question, that is intersection of two arrays, part 2. This will be no problem. First, I will try to solve it on my own. After that, we will take hints of viewer and to solve. See, the topics are same, mostly same as before. So I will see first. Let me explain what the problem is saying. Saying intersection of two arrays. Second, okay, this is the problem name. Given two integer arrays nums1 and nums2 are return an array of their intersection. Each element in the result must appear as many times as it shows in both arrays. That means we don't have to remove the duplicates, and we can return the result in any order. Like in this case, 2 has appeared twice, and in nums2, 2 has again appeared twice, and in output 2 has again appeared twice. And in this case also, okay, in this case, 4 is appeared here one time and it's appeared also. So it has returned 4 9. Okay, what we will do? I think we will have to do the duplicates part that we were checking in this case. If it's already present, we were not supposed to push back the nums I value in that. I think I can copy this from here because the logic is same. Copy only this part. It will save time. Okay. Nums for nums2. So we'll check if nums I index values equals to nums j equals value. If it's true, what do we do? First we will create an empty vector also, because where we have to return the new array in which we have done the intersection of the first two arrays. In vector teacher named enter we will name it stack result. Okay. We'll limit result only. Push back. Oh, sorry. Result dot push back nums I. After that, I think we will break so that stop checking for further J's. Okay, it's not working. Now we will see and try to understand. For I create this master C. Both the vectors are different. Yeah, because 0 to n. But the sizes of them are different. What they can resolve set how would optimize your algorithm. Okay. What if num1 size is small, but num2 which algorithm is better? What is segments of num2 are stored on disk and then in this let's see if the size of them. Okay. In this also the sizes were different. Okay. Let's ask for hints. What the code for it. And if the reply in English, I am solving intersection of two arrays. Problem on LeetCode. Intersection of two arrays, part 2. Hints in English for intersection of two arrays. Let's speak it out. Difference. Part 1 wanted unique intersection values. The part 2 wants all common elements, including duplicates. Brute force are to use nested loops, but you must somehow mark an element in nums2 once it's used, so it doesn't get counted again. Think. Replace with a special value of the listed array. Sorting plus two pointers. If you sort both arrays, you can walk through them with pointers. Move pointers forwards depending on comparison. When one push to result, I move pointer. This is naturally. Now give me pins according to my used formula because I haven't learned some topics yet. Please no sorting. Maybe frequency from 2 pointers to 4 also. Let's take the style essential for a learning website. Here are the hints relative for like you wrote side nums, okay, both your as a names, nums for names. So make sure you're comparing nums one I names. Mark used elements. If you find a match, you must ensure that element in nums2 is not used again. Okay. For each. Um, to find a match, you must ensure that the element in nums2 is not used again. Hint, you can mark it by changing its value to something invalid, like will be now minus one after using it. Break the okay. To find a match, you must ensure that the element in nums2 is not used again. J is equal to nums J is equal to int min. Okay, let's see. You can go through both sides. You can fix fully matched only one announcement for what will be actually because we find two matches. Efficiency note thus performance of n into n. Later when you're comfortable with it. Rather I don't even know because n into n don't even know what does n mean here. We should just means you have projects of size n and one of size n. Okay, and you have to check every element of the first against every element of the second. The total checks you do are and duplicate by example nums one has 10 minutes to 12 point might do it up to 3 to 12 comparison. So the size of notions that's one thing can just tell me to count for my time saved option. In for loops components if they match push into result and marks nums j as use like statistics. Okay. If they match push into the result and mark 2 to pushing we have to mark 2 like set it to something nums2 index is equal to this one. Is it same to do this? Sorry, nums3. Nice, Prithvi, you're almost there. Let me give you step by step it from a current brute force formula. Okay. What's happening now? You wrote type nums I good, but parents are named nums. Okay, nums one. Yeah, this will now for nums two. Okay, yeah, we have to set the value of j2 minus 1. Okay, if this is right, router for loop and enough for loop. Need closing braces before the function ends. Regular code is not compiled. Inner loop ends, outer loop ends, function ends. Thus, k moves to j. That's good because it prevents the send, but be careful the original array originally had -1 as a valid number. So it was confusing for us. It's fine. The braces are not total for loop and any for loop needs closing braces before the function ends. If conditions closes the inner for loop, this closes the outer for loop, this closes the function. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an extra. Outer for loop after that we are returning -1. I don't have to return anything. Huh? Logic by auto loop goes through each element of nums1 and loops checking if match for question closure marks. Marks is used, break and loop. This way, duplicates are handled correctly. Fixed array names, these balanced basis mark management works for now, but later you learn better ways like frequency maps. Your brute force approach your brute force, so it will check every pair, but it's all okay for learning. Now, must mean that we need some works again. Loop goes through each element of nums1 and loop. Okay, checks that against all element against all of nums2. If a match is found, push into result. Mark nums2 as -1 so that element can't be reused again. It will go out of the array. Break the current value of j will go out of the array. break inner loop so you don't double count the same. Okay. Yeah. Things to be careful about. ID names are correct now. Good fish marking one works, but if the user ID is ever contain -1 as the real number, it could cause confusion for us. So bases are valid now, so we confirm that this will handle correctly, but because it matches consumes one element from nums to drive and sample. If it says like as a part B of -1 marking track, just failed. Okay. Combine the very top, okay, open brace, but at the end you never properly closed it. It's properly closed it, but actually we need two closing braces before the final. Okay, I only need two curly braces before the final. Closes out the function to this class. This closes the inner loop. This closes the if condition. This closes the inner loop. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there are three basically only. Fourth is a fifth. So this one is closing the if condition loop condition, and this is closing the inner for loop. This is closing the outer for loop. This is closing the function. This is closing the class. Okay, was right. Compile error. Line 15. But it is a simple function say it will return a vector integer, but inside you never actually return result at the end. Okay. Yeah. If condition that loop return result. That way the function will give back the vector result. So the fix is that and resulting before the last two early basis of the function. Of how it will be outside the outer loop, then it will be passed here. Because if I give result before it, the result will be this and the further it will stop checking for further nums1 and nums2 values. Okay, so both the test cases are accepted. Try to submit it. Okay, it is submitted, is accepted, but there will be more. There are more better approaches present there, but right now I'm doing this because you know the reason behind it. The time complexity of this will be big of n cube because there are nested loops used here. The time complexity of this will be equal to big of n cube, right? Your current brute force has time complexity. Okay, Explain. Okay. So yeah, I haven't learned about time complexity also yet. So I only knew a few terms of it. I know that I know that I am using wrong words from for some technical words like saying different names for different telling telling wrong words using wrong words for different things. So I'm sorry for that. But in the upcoming lectures, I will slowly improve that also and try to spell the right word for the right thing. It is running. Okay. Let's add our own test case here. I'll have to add own test cases. So we will add 2 comma 2 comma 4 comma 4, and here we will add 2 comma 2 comma 4 comma 4 comma 2. Okay, first. Oof. So we have solved this problem. What happening is in this problem? This is outer loop. It traverses through the whole nums1 array. And this traverses to the nums2 array. That is this in this case. If nums1 index value is equals to num's second index value. Okay, num's second index value. It will push back to num's index value inside the result vector. Okay. After that, it will it will push it will mark the value of j as -1 so that it will not be counted in the array again. When the loop of for j will start again. After that, what we are doing, we are using the break statement so that it does not check for further j's finding for for the element of nums1. Okay, so we break also see where it's gone. See break inner loop. Okay, and so this is why break was also used so that it stops checking further j's for the index value of I. After that, we have returned the result. That was after we have returned the result vector. So see here the test cases how it's accepted. So two was present two times in the nums1 array and two was also present in the second array twice. So the output was 2 twice. Was given to twice. In the second test case, it was 4 and 5, and in the second array, it was 9, 4, 8, 9, 8, 4. Okay, but in both the arrays, 4, 9 was occurred once here and occurred twice here, but it will count the 4, 9 months because it has only occurred one time here. That's why. After that, we use the case created by our own. In this, it gives the output 4 times 2 and twice 4. In the first, there was 1 2 times, but it wasn't it was not present in the output array because 1 is only present twice in the first array. If let me check another test case. If for the single value will be counted, I think it will be counted because 1. Okay, it is also, and a 1 is also present in the output. Okay. Now, saying output is this and expected was this, then how is this test is passed? Okay, intersection of two arrays. I think it was expected 1 and 1. Let us this for from Copilot. Brother, how is this test case getting passed in LeetCode? Even when the value 1 is not present in the result array. Brother, this is actually a LeetCode detail. That platform doesn't care about the order of elements in your vector, result vector. Okay, okay. Let me see. The 1 is present here, but it is present in the starting. I think it is automatically sorted. Sorted here also. Sorted here also. By default, I think it is sorted already. That's why. Okay, if we submit it again, should we submit it? But why should we submit it again? Let it be submitted. Okay, so the time complexity of this is told to be equal to big of n into m. Okay, the time complexity of this problem code you said is equal to big of n into m, right? But where the count of nested loops gone? Okay, okay. For instance, that's why shorthand way of saying outer loops n times, inner loop terms n times. Okay. If both arrays are roughly the same size, say both have n elements, then m so n into m becomes n into n. That's why some people say big of n square for simplicity. Okay. What does that sign means? That you used. What is that symbol? No, no. I'm talking about. I am talking about this, or you are sigma 1. Yeah, it is bitwise not operator. Flips all the bits. Okay. No, no. How you used it like M and N. If I say it, I mean if M is roughly equal to N. Okay. So both arrays are of the same type, we can treat them. So the time complexity is this is big of n cube, but some people say it is equal to. We can say that it is equal to M into N also. Okay. So this was the last problem that we solved today. So let me summarize what we have done in the today's stream. First, we solved. Okay, we solved 11 problems till now. First, we solved a new problem called majority element. Inside this, we use the first we use the brute force approach to solve it. In that, we use two for loops and done that problem with two for loops. The time complexity of that was big of n cube. After that, we used a better approach for that using two pointers. One minute. We used a better approach for that. That time complexity was big of n, big of n log n. So what we did in that we first sorted the array, so the time complexity of that be- became big of log n, n log n. After that, we used the for loop and did the thing, and it came near to, and the time complexity of it came near to big of n log n. After that, we revisited a problem named intersection of two arrays that we solved in the previous streams. Don't know the exact number of that stream on which we solved this problem. And we revisited this problem and tried to understand this part portion of the code, and we rewrote the code again and submitted it. We also used hints in this. After that, we jumped onto the uh, level level two of this problem, which is which was this intersection of arrays second part. We tried to solve it all on our own, but we were unable to use this. We were unable to find what to use for marking J. So we used this thing uh, after asking it from Copilot, and this was how the code was working. This was how the code was working here. And time complexity is what it was equal to big of n cube, and some people also use also say it equal to big of m into n. Okay. What we done here, we remove the condition that we used before in the intersection of two arrays part one problem, because we also want the duplicates to be present in the results. So this was all for the today's stream. So if you learned something from the stream, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, and give me the review give me review of the stream that you watched. If you It helps me understand what I have done wrong or what I need to improve, so that when I come again, I come I I explain the things in a in an upgraded way and make and try different things and different approaches to explain the things to you, and also tell me the mistakes that I'm doing uh, for solving these problems or any other things. And yeah, I made an announcement in the previous stream that launching, I will be launching a DSA concept series soon, and the first episode of it will be out soon. I think it will be out till July. Okay, so stay tuned for that. Inside that inside that concept series, I will be explaining you some interesting DSA concepts and explaining the difference of different concepts also. So if you want to see me again in your feeds or want to see my new videos, you will have to. What will you have to do? You will have to go into my channel and click the subscribe button. Sorry, the light was gone. So yeah, I was near to the stream. So if you want to watch more videos and want to, sorry, if you want to watch more new videos, like if you want to see the new series that I will be launching soon, so you will have to make subscribe so that my channel doesn't get removed from the feed or other things. So make sure to subscribe that channel. Till then, till then, keep learning. Till then, keep learning and keep exploring.